is shrinking. California's population is shrinking once again as the mass exodus from the Golden State is showing no signs of slowing. Nathan Hochman, candidate for California Attorney General, is here to react. Nathan, good morning to you. So in 2021, last year, California lost 280,000 residents. In 2022, so far, California has lost another 117,552. Why are so many people leaving California?
Well, thank you again, Carly, for having me on. I think what's happening is that people used to come to California because it was a state where they pursue their dreams. Now, unfortunately, the nightmares are taking over. You have exploding violent and street crime. You have homelessness at an all-time high. In fact, we have a quarter of the homeless population in California, the entire nation. You have fentanyl poisonings going to kill more Californians in some cities than COVID. This sort of toxic mixture has resulted in people net leaving, hundreds of thousands of people leaving the state of California. In fact, we lost a congressional seat in the last redistricting.
Well, in the three cities that lost the most residents are San Francisco, Los Angeles, New York. This is across the board nationally. Those are all blue states, of course. The cities that gained the most residents, Miami, Phoenix, and Tampa, all red states. So is this an example of people voting with their feet?
Absolutely. I think what happens is that when people see the atmosphere, the culture around them, and particularly in Los Angeles and San Francisco, they see a spiral of lawlessness going on, where you have one person, for instance, walking, not running out of a CVS and stealing under $950. Then you'll have 3 people running out of a Walgreens, 80 people running out of a Nordstrom's. You have follow home robberies, smash and grab robberies, train robberies, and double-digit riots and violent crimes. That is the toxic mixture for people to leave the state and vote with their feet rather than stay.
Yeah, Nathan, we just showed some video that recently came in. It shows a group of people in a San Francisco Walgreens. They're looting the store, putting as much as they can into their bags. Then you hear in the video, the cashier says to them, "Get a job." And then one of the criminals shouts an expletive at him. Property crime in general up 10.4% in San Francisco alone. How bad do things need to get before people start voting differently?
You know, I think what's happening is it's a wake-up call for the entire state. Not just Republicans, but Democrats and independents as well. They look out their door and they're afraid. They're frustrated and they are fed up. They can't send their children out at night, their parents are worried for their neighbors. I think this is actually a wake-up call in California, and it's part of the reason I'm running for California Attorney General in the 2022 election.
Well, because you are running for Attorney General, I wanted to ask you about this interesting story I was reading about yesterday. Also happened in San Francisco. There were 4 drug dealers that San Francisco actually tried to ban from entering the Tenderloin district of the city, which is this area that's infested with crime and drug addiction. A California appeals court blocked that move, saying that it infringes on their constitutional right to travel. How do you feel about that ruling? And also, if we're talking about drug dealers here, why aren't they in jail?
And that's exactly how I feel about that ruling. If the police would actually do their job and arrest drug dealers trafficking narcotics in the open on the streets, and then have the prosecutors do their job and not just give them no bail and let them out by nightfall, and then actually do the sentencing that the laws carry out, you won't have a problem with drug dealers going to and from a particular area because they'll be in state prison and they can walk around as much as they want in state prison.
Are the smash and grab robberies still happening in California? We covered that a lot last year.
Oh, they are. It's gotten to the point where there's so many of them that even the media doesn't cover them as much anymore because it's been covered before. The smash and grab robberies, the follow home robberies. We have 17 independent gangs operating in Los Angeles, for instance, where they go in crews of 3 to 5 cars. They follow people home. They steal their wallets, their purses, their personal property. And nowadays they're using guns because they know that even if they're arrested, they'll be out by nightfall.
Nathan Hochman, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Waking up early.